Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 3. And what season is this? Who cares? Let's get into it. Alright, so we start off with a scene from Portia. She's back in Louisville. They are protesting. She said that it was kind of like her Selma moment as they were walking over the bridge, and she sees the police officers with, billy clubs and sticks and everything, and she just knew that there was nothing that was going to stop her. They ended up getting arrested, and she felt like she was made an example out of because they kept her in longer and like kind of waited to release her. So again, Portia Luther King is out here working for the people, and we are very much so proud of her. Later on in the episode, we see her, Lauren, and Tanya go to her friend's house. I think her friend's name was Fallon. Was it Fallon? I didn't take any notes from Atlanta, y'all, because honestly it was not enough for me to take notes. But anyway, so they go over there and they're having like a little girls' day, a little pool party. Did y'all notice that the friend's husband was just like in the back lurking like a creep? Like, honey, he was enjoying seeing all that at the pool because it was plenty of it to go around. Yet Portia and all that dunk she got, Tanya in her thong bikini, his wife got her boobs sitting up, Lauren, like it was like a Sports Illustrated photo shoot over there at the house. And the new friend, I'm gonna call her Fallon because I think that's what her name was. If it wasn't, y'all can drop it down in the comments. But the new friend has it laid out for them. She has hookah, she has gift baskets for them to take, fresh flowers. It seemed like a really good time. And while they were in the hot tub just kind of talking, they did discuss just everything that's going on, civilly with the civil unrest, why Portia feels like it's important to do it. And I'm glad that they're I'm glad that they are bringing awareness to everything that was going on, and I do think that Bravo is doing a good job of it. I don't think that it's overkill. I've been watching some different reviews and some people are kind of like over it or whatever, but that is really what's going on. That's really what's happening out here, and I like how Portia was able to kind of tie it in with having like a girl Kiki moment. I enjoyed their little pool moment. I don't know if this new girl is going to be a consistent friend of the show. We don't need any more friends of the show, but they got money, it seems. We get a scene with Kenya and Latoya Forever. She comes over to the house, and it's kind of like a really big sis, little sis type of like moment. They're dressed alike, ironically. They take quite a few minutes to shade Drew Sidora. Now, I don't understand why all this shade. Like, they are coming for Drew's wig and just her really, really hard to have only met her once. Now, again, this is what I mean when I talk about Kenya and like her jealousy, because you literally, the only thing that would make sense for you to be coming for Drew as hard as you're coming for her is because she has a bigger acting career than you did. And I mean, let's not act like Drew was out here getting Oscars, so I don't get it. And Latoya, you're new here. You would think that the two new people would kind of try to get along. Y'all are coming into this established group of friends. The last thing you want to do is just off the top make an enemy with someone. Like, I don't know. I really have been trying to reserve my opinion about Latoya Forever, but this is scene 3 that we've seen her, and she just did not leave a good taste in my mouth. But anyway, Kenya asked her how she feels about, Drew bringing up the conversation about separation, and Latoya says she feels no ways about it. She knows her relationship, her and her man have been through a lot, and it is what it is, which prompts Kenya to go ahead and talk about how She has decided that she wants to live her life, but she can't do that as long as she's married. As long as she's married, you can tell that she actually respects the sanctity of marriage and her vows. I appreciate that. However, Latoya's like, honey, you need to move on. I'm going to take some pictures of you and we're going to get them on some dating sites. We don't care nothing about your ring being in the picture, honey. I will edit it out. So they take some pictures. Later, we get a scene with Kenya, Cynthia, and Candy. And I believe this was the only scene we saw Candy out at Candy's house, and they're working out because we've already said it. Everyone has gained some weight, okay? Candy says she wants to look like she looked when she first started Housewives, and they showed a throwback picture. I was like, wow, I forgot Candy was that small. Cynthia said that, you know, she's gained quite a few pounds and she wants to lose it all before the wedding. And Kenya said that she was 155 pounds a few weeks after having Brooklyn, and well, she's 30 pounds heavier than that now. So they're out there working out. At least they actually seem to be trying to work out, you know, unlike Braxton Family Values from this week, because there was no working out going on over there. After the workout, we have the ladies sit down and talk about Cynthia's wedding, and Cynthia is just very much so adamant about wanting to have her dream wedding with 250 people despite COVID. And you can tell Kenya is not here for it. She's like, Cynthia's doing the most. And the producers asked Candy what would she do, and Candy's like, don't ask me because y'all already know I don't follow any rules. Let's go ahead and talk about Cynthia. This episode, we saw Cynthia actually touring and going through her venue with Mike Hill. She thought that maybe by showing him the venue, it would kind of sway him a little bit more on her side about having this grandiose wedding. Now, it does kind of suck because we do know that the wedding happened. Like, ideally, you know, I think this probably would have aired before the wedding happened. That way we have a little bit of suspense to see if it actually would have worked out. But, you know, whatever. So she takes him to the venue, him and her sister. And so she takes Mike and her sister to the venue to view it. And it is a gorgeous space. I suppose that was also her wedding planner was there as well. And Cynthia takes her sister because she feels like her sister and Mike have a close relationship, and maybe she can sway him to be more on Cynthia's side. That doesn't end up working out in Cynthia's favor, because when they go out and they're discussing it, it kind of seems like her sister kind of sided with Mike, and so Cynthia really felt the way. So as they're talking about it, you know, Mike is just like, you know, we picked the perfect date, 10-10-20. You know, you said it was a perfect date. She has earrings with the date on it, and he's saying all his question was is if they are unable to have this huge grandiose wedding that she wants on that, you know, on that, will they still get married on that date? And she really like beats around the bush about it. And really what I think he just wanted is, no matter what, babe, that's our day to be married. Even if we have to get married and have this ceremony at a later date, I just want us to be married on that day. I think that's kind of what the reassurance that he wanted. That's not what she was giving him. Her thing was she wants this wedding. The date, at first she talked about how the date was perfect, but when it comes to having the wedding, at the end of the day, she wants this wedding, period. She doesn't care about the date. She wants the wedding. And it's like, you can't, well, I was going to say you can't have your cake and eat it too, but clearly she can. But it's just like, she made a comment that said the wedding, let me see, hold on, I did write that down because I was like, what? Cynthia says weddings set the tone for marriage, and I do not agree with her. Like Mike said, you can have the biggest, grandest wedding and then be divorced 3 months later. A wedding is a party. You know what I'm saying? I understand the dream, the womanly thing of wanting these grandiose weddings, but that a wedding and a marriage are two separate things, and it almost seems like Cynthia is focused on the wrong thing. And I don't want to call her Bridezilla because she's not necessarily all the way to like Zilla, but you know, she's you know what I'm saying? Like, it, she's so hell bent and stuck on wanting this wedding that she might end up causing some resentment in her marriage before she even walks down the aisle. I personally do not agree with Cynthia's actions and how she's going about this. I feel like at this point, I get you want the wedding, but at this point you should want the union with your man. You know, you can have a party anytime. You really can. They could have just as easily went to the courthouse on 10/10/20 and still had this 250 guest party next year, you know, when things really open up. You get what I'm saying? You could have, but I don't know. I honestly think that Cynthia is just trying to like overcompensate for the wreck of a marriage and wedding she had the first time. What do y'all think? Drop down in the comments. And lastly, we saw some scenes with Drew and her husband Ralph. I remember his name now because Ralph is like a slang word for vomit, and he makes me want to barf. So I'm going to call him Barf. So because honestly, he's sickening to me. He really is. Like, the way that he talks to Drew, he's real disrespectful to me. Like, he's real aggy to me. So we saw the first scene I think that we saw was them getting ready to like practice for Mama J's church service. We know that Drew's mom is a preacher, so they were getting ready to practice doing the music for that. Now, Mama J starts with, my sermon for this week is gonna be bridle your tongue, and then looks straight over at them. Like, I don't agree with that. I do feel like she's overstepping, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's one of those things where like Drew probably brings her mom into their relationship. That my mama say it all the time, and I agree. You know, you can't have too many grown people in the house, and when you have a married couple in the house, it just is going to cause some conflict if one of their parents is there. I just truly do believe that, because you know, there's arguments. She's in it now, and I don't think that it was right for her to insert herself into their argument. You know what I'm saying? Especially because they hadn't even resolved their argument. Drew let us know that they had to table their disagreement, and that they tend to constantly table their disagreement, which is unhealthy. Because the next time y'all have an argument, now you're not just arguing about whatever it is you're arguing about everything. I'm not seeing it for Drew and her husband. And then on top of that, y'all are on this show, which adds a whole nother level of stress. Y'all, this is y'all first season, and it's sad to say, but you got to be strong on these shows coming into them to survive. If you already cracked and torn on episode 2 of y'all being together on the show, it ain't gonna look good. Later, we see them talking about buying a house, and he was talking about, well, I have to get my attorney and all this kind of stuff. And Drew really is feeling like she's not included in the situation. She's not included in it. And when she expresses that to him, he's very much so dismissive and just like blows her off. That pissed me off. Like, you know, if your wife is sitting up here saying that something that you're doing is bothering her, you as her spouse should be like, oh, well, that's, you know, I apologize, that's not what I'm trying to do. Let me tell you what's going on so that you can feel included. You get what I'm saying? The fact that he just dismissed her and was like, oh, well, you don't need to worry about this, you just worry about the packing. That's not it. If we're buying a house, we're buying a house. I need to understand what's going on too, honey. You don't just sign your name on the mortgage and not understand what's happening. You know, she's trying to be happy, she's trying to be excited. He just really got on my nerves. They go on to talk about finding a counselor. She said that she found them a counselor because they need it. And he's just like, oh, so did you already talk to the counselor? Did you already make them biased and tell her what's going on? And I'm not here for barf. I'm not here for it. I really am not. He seems shady. He seems a little cuckoo. He seems controlling. He seems disrespectful, and I don't necessarily like him. What do y'all think? Well, that's it, you guys. That's really all that happened in Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can't pull much more out of it. Please, if you watch this episode, drop down in the comments so we can talk about it. And make sure if you watch the Real Housewives of Potomac that you click the card up here so that you can see my live review on it. I'll probably go live again for that review next Sunday as well. Next Sunday for Real Housewives of Atlanta, they're doing kind of like a look back episode. I'm not reviewing that. I'm letting you know that right now. So I will see y'all for the next real episode, which probably won't be until 2021. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.